on the TVR stand. Now TVR are one of the only companies that are actually doing anything new at this year's motor show. They've got 3 model launches. One of them is this baby, the V12, or the Beastie as the boys from Blackpool have decided to call it.
We're going to go racing. We've been doing some GT racing for a few years now, but although the car's recognised as handling really sweetly, we have always been shorter horses, so never a company to do things in halves. We are building another new engine, which is a 7-litre V12, 660 brake horsepower, which should be enough to sort the others out. And then, of course, because there's a GT car, we are going to build versions for the road as well.
How many are you planning to sell on the road?
I imagine, it's going to be over £100,000. It very much will be a racing car still, even if you can drive it on the road. But we've already been a little bit surprised in that we thought maybe we'd get 1 or 2 orders over the duration of the show. By 10 o'clock this morning, we had 3 deposits.
Well, from looking at it, it really doesn't surprise me. You really are truly the biggest British car manufacturer, aren't you?
Yeah, in terms of number of cars we build, yes, we are.
Those numbers at the moment?
We're just going up to 1,700 cars a year. That'll be 2,200 within 12 months' time.
That's pretty good. Who owns TVR?
One man, Peter Wheeler, lives in Blackpool, runs the company, races the cars, and owns it lock, stock and barrel.
Well, the man who's got an opinion on absolutely everything, Mike Rutherford, what does he think of TVR's new baby?
When you talk about the new baby, are you talking about the PR man? I think it's marvellous.
They do look very young.
He must be about 12. Lovely bloke though. The new car, we've got to put this car into context. This really is the only genuinely new car at the British Motor Show. This is the only car that has really surprised people like you and I. We came here looking for a brand new car. This is it. V12, about 6-7 litre. The ultimate muscle car, and it's a British car. It might cost 150 grand, but thank God there's a little company up in Blackpool, a sort of cottage industry company, that are bringing out something like this, and more power.
There's an awful lot of good things come out of the north of England, I must say that.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, I just wonder how much help a company like this gets from the British government, for example. The Department of Trade and Industry goes around the world trying to attract the Koreans and the Japanese to Britain. They actually hand out tens of millions of pounds to those companies. I'm not sure that TVR in Blackpool get too much state aid, and they should, because if we're not very, very careful, a company like this will find it difficult to survive, and it'll be the same old story. A foreign competitor will come in, a predator almost, and snap it up, and it will become foreign owned, and we don't want this. We want this company to stay British, and I've got to say, they're doing a great job. This is Britain's largest truly British car manufacturer. Once this one goes, there's nothing left. And before everybody says, well, what about Aston Martin, what about Lotus, and what about Jaguar, they're all owned by foreign companies. This is a British-owned company, and it's owned by, the archetypal English eccentric, and that's what we need.
So what do you reckon, Mike? Should we put our names down for a test drive then, or what?
Well, I think it's going to have to be a test drive because, it's an expensive car, a very expensive car, 150 grand. Between us, we're never going to have 150 grand to spend on a car. So I would say, though, quite seriously, if anybody's doing the numbers this weekend and they're doing the lottery, the numbers to remember are 12 and 7, Project 12-7, because if you win the lottery, this is the car to spend your money on.